In this video I'm gonna review the Laowa17mm F1.8 Micro Four Thirds lens. Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto. I'm a photographer and a Lumix ambassador from Helsinki, Finland. And in this video I'm gonna review the Laowa 17mm F1.8 Micro Four Thirds lens. And I'm gonna start reviewing this lens cap right away because it's almost impossible to get off with gloves. And today I'm gonna need gloves because it's not exactly a warm day. Oops! We have had lenses and lens caps for well over 100 years now, and still even today no one has come up with the ultimate lens cap. I wonder why that is. It still looks so pretty here. I thought I was almost sure all the leaves are on the ground and there's no any yellow or orange left, but there's plenty of fall colors, and I'm gonna take my first picture on this Laowa right here, right now. This is manual focus lens, so gotta focus first and click. This Laowa is a fully manual, fully mechanical, and like I already said, manual focus lens for Micro Four Thirds cameras, so it fits on every Micro Four Thirds camera body. At least I think it fits on every camera body, but it's a native Micro Four Thirds lens anyway. And I'm back at the same location where I filmed my simple landscape video was it a couple of weeks ago. But I thought I'd come back because this is such a pretty place and it's a different day, different weather. Right now it's kind of overcast, but it still looks kind of nice here, and I'm gonna take another picture here to these orange leaves here up to the sky. And again, I have to remember to focus because this is a manual focus lens, but still it's very easy to focus on this lens, and yes, there it is, like so. And the build quality of this Laowa 17 F1.8 feels really solid, and the lens looks a lot like the 7.5mm f2 Laowa, which I have reviewed on this channel, and I'll put the link to that at the end of this video so you can check it out if you haven't seen it already. But this lens is very similar, all metal, feels like very well made. The aperture ring has full stop clicks, but those clicks are very faint, so I guess it's possible to accidentally change the aperture if you are not careful. And even the included tiny lens hood is made of metal. So all in all, looks like a very well built lens. And this Laowa 17mm is absolutely tiny lens. It weighs just over 170 grams with the hood, and the filter thread is 46mm. However, it's not actually that much smaller, or actually any smaller than the Leica 15mm f1.7 that I also happen to have with me. The Laowa is slimmer, but the Leica is shorter and lighter as well. And today I mounted the Laowa on my Lumix G90 camera body, and this combo feels really nice and well balanced. It feels so well balanced that I'm gonna try to make a picture of that tree behind me. And I guess that's the classic woodland photo setup. All these dark greens and then dark trees, and then there's one colorful small tree like in the middle of these dark trees. I think a telephoto lens would work better here, but I'm gonna try it anyway on this Laowa wide-angle lens. Okay, I'm gonna move right here where I get a little bit higher angle and more of the dark background, and I'm gonna stop down all the way to f5.6 to get enough depth of field. And again, manual focus, and like so. Very easy to focus manually on this lens, and there it is. The optical formula of this lens is 9 elements in 7 groups, which is nothing too complicated by modern standards. And the aperture has 7 blades, which should make really good looking sun stars, but at the moment there is no sun or stars visible. I'm gonna try to make a night shot in the city tonight, and with some bright lights, and if I manage to do that, I'll show you the picture here now. The minimum focusing distance is 15 centimeters, which translates to about 7.5 centimeters from the front element, which doesn't make this a macro lens, but you can certainly get some nice close-ups on this lens, like so. And this is a fully manual mechanical lens, so there's no optical stabilizer built into this lens, but it's not a big deal because the IBIS on the G90 can easily handle a wide angle like this. It's not exactly dark in this forest, but I'm gonna stop down and I'm gonna make one picture of this tree here and see if I can get some of the movement, the leaves moving in the picture. Okay, I'm stopping down to about f8 to get a long enough exposure time to show the leaves moving in the picture, and let's see how it looks like. And I get 1/10 of a second at f8, and I think that's enough to show any movement. Okay, not exactly a fine art masterpiece, but it shows that IBIS can handle this wide angle easily, and you can use pretty long shutter speed handheld. The focus ring on this Laowa is super smooth, and like I've said many times in this video already, the focusing is really easy on this lens. And there are hard stops at both ends of the focusing scale or the lens barrel. However, you can't entirely trust the numbers on the lens barrel, because right now when I focus at the three tops up there, and they are maybe 10 meters away, 15 maximum, my focus is already well beyond infinity, even though my subject is 10-15 meters away. At this point, I'd like to remind you that if you have my channel membership, you can download some full-size sample photos. If you have the basic Zoom membership, you can download JPEG files, and if you have the Prime membership, you can also download some RAW files. There's a community post on this channel with the links to the files. And if you'd like to get the channel membership, there's a link down below for that. And optically, this lens is actually quite good. It's sharp at all apertures. There are no bad distortions. Chromatic aberrations are pretty well under control. You can see some, but nothing, nothing too serious, or nothing that you can easily fix in post. And also the vignetting is pretty well under control. You can see some vignetting wide open, but it's nothing that would, ruin your pictures or be too distracting. So all in all, optically, a very, very nice lens. A moderate wide angle like this 17mm, which equals to about 35 in full frame terms, is suitable for all kinds of photography, and also for landscapes. And behind me is quite a nice view, and I'm gonna try to take a picture of that now on this Laowa 17mm. Okay, it looks quite good. There are even some swans back there, but obviously I can't catch them on this wide angle lens. But other than that, this looks kind of nice, and I like the sea when it's kind of rough like that. It's quite windy here. I found some more swans here on the other side of this peninsula here, and I'll see if I can get a picture of them on this wide angle. It's not gonna be the wildlife photo of the year, but let's see if I can get at least a picture. All right, the birds are not that far away, so I I may get at least some kind of a picture here. So all in all, this Laowa17mm F1.8 is a pretty decent lens. I think the major upsides are that it's sharp and quite decent optically in general. It's well built and it's really compact. And the major downsides are that it's only manual focus and fully mechanical, so there's no EXIF data. You can't see which aperture you used or which lens you used when you look at your EXIF data. And also this lens is not weather sealed. Okay, almost time to head home for a hot cup of coffee, but before I do that, let's look at some alternatives, because this Laowa is not exactly a unique lens when you look at the specifications. The price of this Laowa is around 180 euros or US dollars, and for that money you don't get anything as sharp or as well built as this one. And by the way, I have an affiliate link down below, so if you wish to purchase this Laowa, please use the link and you'll support my channel at the same time. However, if we forget about the price, there are two autofocus alternatives. This first one is this Leica 15mm f1.7, and the other one is the Olympus 17mm f1.8. Both the Leica and Olympus are a bit more expensive than the Laowa, but they support autofocus and all other electronic communication between the camera and the lens. But for those of you who don't mind about the manual focusing, this Laowa is a really nice lens and definitely worth a look. And before you go, please consider buying me a cup of coffee. There's a link down below. It would mean a lot to me and it would help me to make more of these videos for you. And before you go, here's my Laowa 7.5mm f2 review. You may want to check that out too if you're interested in manual focus wide-angle lenses. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.